Michael Bay does stuff big, you know, and he loves the military. He really supports the troops. He loves the soldiers. He loves the equipment that we can bring, and you know, he likes big explosions, and we make big explosions.
The amount of stuff that the military allowed Michael and the film company to use seems unprecedented to me. Am I right? I mean, he gets to use toys and stuff that people aren't even supposed to be seeing.
I think this is probably the biggest joint service movie in terms of contemporary equipment ever made.
For the military, the Air Force, the Army, the Navy, the Marines, all of those folks that are portrayed in the film are realistically portrayed. You know, Michael Bay's got me convinced that if we were to actually fight Transformers, this is how we would do it.
Whenever we get a script, the first thing we ask for from the person sending us the script is if they have funding and distribution. If they have funding and distribution, then we will read the script.
We try to look at the areas that concern the military in terms of is it realistically being portrayed? Is it plausible? Is it even possible? And if there's some room for us to go there, then we try to provide support.
Transformers 2 was kind of a no-brainer for us, especially when the script came in and we noticed that there was a lot more military participation. Obviously, in this movie, we're fighting robot aliens. Realism is a little tough, but we like to look at it as if we were fighting robot aliens, how would we do this? And how would we do it within the way we operate in our own doctrinal methods?
The beauty of this film for the military is that it showcases all the capabilities of all the services, and it does so in a joint operations context. So what you're really seeing is you're seeing the way the U.S. military really fights.
The mission at Edwards Air Force Base is unique. There isn't another place in DoD that you can do the things that you can do here at Team Edward. A variety of different aircraft and missions and capabilities and skill sets all come together to make for a fantastic montage of air power and U.S. military power.
We shot up at Edwards Air Force Base in this huge hangar that's called the anechoic chamber. And it's a space that's covered in all these like blue foam spikes. And they basically hang aircraft inside, off the roof inside this hangar to, I don't know what they're testing exactly, but it's all kind of radar. It's all you haven't got a clue what it's really for, but it looks fantastic. And we thought that would make a great spot to have the first interaction between Optimus and the people back at the nest.
We went back to Alamogordo because we had such a good experience on the first movie with Holloman Air Force Base and then with White Sands Missile Range. And that's where we built our huge set. And you're not on the National Monument side, you're on the side that the Air Force runs. So we did have a lot of freedom that way. We left, obviously, with a good feeling after the first movie, and they were happy to have us back.
Ready, and action!
When it pulls the pin, it opens the main. Raise your back up, lose your primary. I need you to pull the blue. I need you to pull it very hard. No, not now. Dude, we're on the plane.
When I read that scene in the script, I was counting off the court-martial offenses that were being committed. And when I got to 8 or 9, I just stopped and thought, you know, this is pure comedy. No one's going to take this seriously. So we didn't object to any of it, really.
Yeah, it's a hilarious scene where they strap me into this harness and literally just jerk me off the back of this plane. It's hilarious.
When I first read it, I was like, wow, that's pretty ballsy to just, throw the guy off the plane. But thank God they came up with a little scene at the end where he does actually live.
We try to be as accurate and plausible as possible, but in the end, we're fighting Transformers. So there's going to be room to wiggle, there's going to be room to add some Hollywood magic to it, and I think the audience understands that, I think the troops understand that, I think that the Air Force understands that, and so there's times when we do wiggle a little bit, we put a little Hollywood magic, but in the end it makes everyone look good.
They don't write the scripts. They don't tell us what to do. They just want their part of the job in the script to be done the way it would be done in the real military.
We understand we're not here making, documentaries and training films for how to do, things in the military and in the Army. But the director, Michael Bay, he's very interested in making sure that we are as accurate as we can be.
What would you do? A plane arrives and there's shit coming off. What would you do?
Pretty much just stand off to the side.
Stand off to the side? Okay, then that's what I'm going to need you guys to do. You stand at attention, yes? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
All right. Why don't we line you up? Let's get you over there and I'll place you, okay? Thanks, guys. Well, what would you do if the enemy is somewhere out there?
I wouldn't be hovering.
What would you do?
I'd be orbiting over top of these
That's
guys.
Right. Like how orbiting, like
200
right
or 300
over?
feet, right above the edge of that building circle.
But now, the thing is, we want to see you.
Okay.
I've seen plenty of your news clippings.
Well, I can make a slow pass down that.
Yeah, for effect, he can go
down the
he
center
can go
of that
low.
building.
What would you do?
I can make a slow pass down the center of that building while they're in the
that's
LZ.
Good. That's good. See? Sounds good, too.
That was unbelievable. That was absolutely one of the most mind-blowing things I've ever done. It was extraordinary. I mean, logistically it was very difficult, but it was the most really intense filming environment I'd ever been in. I mean, you're standing effectively on a runway with high-speed jets taking off and landing all around you. And you can't hear anything, you can't speak, no one can hear you, even if you could. The air is thick with toxic, sort of hot jet exhausts, and at any given moment you need to be prepared to be blown off your feet by an F-18 turning in front of you. It's extraordinary, but the visual mileage is just fantastic.
When you're on an airship carrier, you don't tell them when you're going to shoot. You're guided by them. They're in the middle of war games. They're not going to stop for you a battle plan that they've been preparing for 2 years so that you can get your close-up. That's not how it goes in these environments.
And there's stuff going on all the time. I mean, you can point the camera anywhere at any given moment and there's exciting shit happening. It's great.
It's weird when you look up and you're jaded to the point where you've been around so much fire and toys that you look up and you see those jets and it's another day. And that's where I know that's where I am now. It's not like what it was in the first one where a helicopter? Are you kidding me? Really? We're gonna be driving on the street and the helicopter's gonna be right there, Mike? Really? Yeah, kid. Don't worry about it. And now it's like, now I'm the yeah, kid guy again. Like we would have these days where Ramon would come to set. Are you kidding me, man? What is that truck for? Is that a tank? Is this for real? What is that? Is that gonna fall? Is it gonna blow up? Just be like, yeah, kid. Don't worry about it. Look over at Michael. Look at what I've become. Look what you've done to me.
I think the Air Force likes Michael Bay and his films because he understands the military. He understands how to really utilize the military in his films, and specifically in Transformers. His canvas just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and we keep adding more and more capabilities in his films. And it's an opportunity for us to showcase our capabilities, inform and educate the American public on what we do in a very entertaining manner.
Really, it's a perfect relationship. Michael Bay makes movies the way Michael Bay makes movies, which are big equipment, big action. The military is probably the best organization to provide that kind of support. And on the flip side, Transformers is targeted at a younger audience, which is right in line with who we like to talk to when it comes to recruiting. But it also shows the military in the most realistic and plausible way possible. He wants to get it right. Michael wants to get it right. And at the end of the day, we're the good guys. There's no politics involved in a movie like Transformers, so it's good for us, I think.
Is that
awesome? That was awesome.